Hello again, Beyond Two Bridges. Ryan Donally here with my colleague Matthew. And today we're doing our first 5 minutes and we're going to completely change things up. Again, feedback that we've got is you're way too stiff. It's way too serious. We're not getting enough personality into it. So we're literally jackets off, sleeves are going up, although it's kind of cold. So I'm going to keep my sleeves back on.
Quite cold.
It's quite cold,
but it's okay.
So we're literally just going to screw around for 5 minutes. Actually, we're not. We're going to talk about ourselves a little bit. And we're going to talk about things that we're enjoying right now. Maybe a little bit of pop culture, maybe a little bit of childhood.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Let's get into it.
To me, it fits because, I mean, Danielle was a friend of mine growing up.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's start with favorite color.
Favorite color, green.
Oh, I would say blue.
Why would you think that? You think that I would be
No,
blue?
sorry. I'm
yours
saying
is
mine blue. Mine's blue.
I would assume that you were blue.
Which together we make the colors of the chamber. Look at us.
Oh, serendipitous. Serendipitous.
It's perfect.
All right. Yeah. So color. Okay, cool. Favorite movie of all time.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
See, this is where I lose the fans because while I enjoy film, I like camp. And so
like camp as in like campy things or summer camp?
Campy things, exactly. So I would have to say something that's probably controversial.
No, go for it.
And it would be something to the effect of Mean Girls. I know, but
Mean Girls is amazing.
Well, exactly,
it's
but
amazing.
Like not like people would probably assume I would say Titanic or Casablanca.
Titanic's shit.
I mean, I don't.
Sorry, I shouldn't swear. No swearing.
I would say Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, your mother's chest hair. So my sister absolutely loves Mean Girls. Shout out to Sarah Donally, who's maybe
definitely watching. Our hopefully not only viewer at this point in time.
No, Sarah's definitely watching. I'll tag her in this.
Perfect.
You guys are buddies now.
We are.
Social
Sarah
media
and
buddies.
I are best friends. So thanks for connecting.
Brothers, sisters?
I am the youngest of 7. Actually. Yeah. Look at this is live breaking news.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew you had family, but I didn't.
So when I said 7, I meant 6, but still it's a lot. Yeah, that's where my brain's at. But I am the youngest of 6 and I have 1 sister and brothers after that.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. Only one lives here in Windsor and everyone else is up north.
I feel like a horrible human that I didn't know that.
I know, it's true. You should.
That I'm a horrible human that...
You should know that you are a horrible human.
Chris is laughing in the background, so I don't know if this is working or not, but whatever.
Okay.
Cut that. No.
Let's talk about what we're doing right now. Are you...
Didn't even ask me a little bit about my family. My
because
nothing.
Zero.
Hey, Ryan, what's your favorite movie? Tell me about yourself. What's your family like?
This is the real live relationship that we have. Okay, well,
this is literally a daily basis.
Because I mean, you've already kind of explained that you love Diet Pepsi.
I do. French cigarette.
Is there a favorite food that you like?
No.
Good. Excellent. And we are out of here.
Favorite food? If I had one cuisine that I could eat for the rest of my life, probably Mexican food.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Mexican food is the only food that the thing should touch.
Oh,
right? So like
a
burrito?
Yep.
That should be mixed together. All those things, perfect. You give me like mashed potatoes where the corn is touching it.
Like a nice, beautiful shepherd's pie?
A shepherd's pie is the grossest thing in the world. People that know me know shepherd's pie.
That's where we differ.
It's horrible. anything that's a pie that is not a sweet pie and is like some sort of a meat pie or tortillere. Is that what it's called? You're French.
Yeah, and this is like driving home. This is my culture.
Your culture. Hey, say Pernod Ricard again for me. Anyways, Matthew screwed that up at the press conference in front of Pernod Ricard, but that's okay. I'm going to keep bringing it up. It's great. Okay, I'll stop. I can see he's insensitive about this.
It's fine.
On we go. What are we working on right now?
Okay.
What's going on in our world?
In our world?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously this podcast has been something that is really passionate for both of us. We've had some amazing guests, but other than this, we have a bunch of events happening and we are trying to literally change almost everything about the Chamber's image, elevating it, creating more opportunities for our membership.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It really has.
It's been a lot of fun. You have definitely found ways to make our jobs so relevant with what is happening nowadays. And I'm hoping that you are getting that feedback because it's fun to do what we're doing on our side. And hopefully it's resonating with people out there in the community.
Hopefully. I mean, this is probably resonating with someone, but they're...
At least one person.
Yeah. My sister, Sarah. Hey, how's it going? Like and share. Thank you, Matthew. No, it really means a lot. Actually, when this films or this airs, I will be 1 year into my job.
I thought you were going to say 1 year older, but yeah.
I mean, I will be 1 year older, literally and
too.
technically, but
Yeah.
yes, 1 year older, 1 year into my
1 year
job.
into
So
your job.
I started January 27, 2025. 2 days later, Donald Trump, so 2 days later, provincial election was called.
Mm-hmm.
5 days later, Donald Trump created Liberation Day, where he created mass hysteria and global tariffs on the entire world. A few weeks later, they created a federal election, and then it's just been a gong show since then.
It's been a
Here
fun
we are.
gong show.
Fun gong show. Yeah. This is the gong show. Anyways, my favorite movie, nice segue. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Ghostbusters. I can go word for word almost.
Which one?
One is the only one.
Not the one with the all-female cast?
Is that a loaded question? No, it's good. It's fine. It's basically a remake.
I was trying to trap you there.
It's a remake of the first one anyways. Like, it's just not as well done.
Okay.
Bill Murray's my favorite actor of all time.
Fair enough.
He's outstanding. Yeah. What are you watching on TV these days?
Oh boy. Well, I just finished, of course, like the rest of the world, Heated Rivalry.
Didn't watch it.
Which, interestingly enough, let's talk about that, because you texted me saying that you were going to watch it.
Yes, I did.
And
I didn't yet.
Wow. So liar.
You wrote back to me, I had to turn that off because I was watching it in the middle of the afternoon and I have big bay windows and my neighbors were going to wonder what we were watching.
Right. And in the moment, I don't know if it was as crazy of a global hit as it was a couple weeks later. So after that moment had come and gone,
it was all good.
It was all good. I watched it right in the living room, and whoever was walking by, they watched what we were watching.
Yeah, octogenarians walking their dog down the street in South Windsor or South Walkerville there.
Amazing Canadian produced TV show.
There you go.
It's going to come back for a season 2 and a 3.
Did they win anything on Golden Globes?
Listen, so allegedly, because they are Canadian produced, they are not eligible to be nominated for any of those American award shows.
Sounds like that is a policy and advocacy point that the chamber can take up.
I'm here for it. Listen, more arts and culture.
Arts and culture. I mean, it fits. And there we go. I got the hockey world. So, Chris, time check. How we doing? We're out of time?
All right. Well, that's that.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed this 5 minutes. It was definitely different. We definitely took the jackets off and loosened the sleeves a little bit. And now go ahead.
Just before you segue, so we have a new email. So if you think that this makes sense, let us know. b2b@windsor-essex-chamber.org. I want to know what works, what doesn't work, and what things you want to see on the podcast.
Yeah, send it through social too.
Yeah, please do. We are on all the social media platforms.
All the socials. If you send it an email, I won't read it likely.
That's okay. I will.
All right. Well, that was our Fast Five, Fight for Fighting, whatever we want to call it now, completely change it up. And we're segueing right over to my great friend, longtime best friend, Danielle Campo. We grew up swimming together since a ripe old age of 5 years old. So what an incredible story. And here we go. Let's get into Danielle Campo. Hello, viewers and listeners. Welcome back to Beyond Two Bridges. We are joined today by a very special guest, a woman who is the most resilient, tough, gritty, and classy individual that I have had the pleasure to call a friend, Miss Danielle Campo-McLeod. Danielle is an award-winning keynote speaker, mental health expert, and coach, renowned for her expertise in leadership, resilience, and fostering connections. A celebrated Paralympian and recipient of the Order of Canada, Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal, Terry Fox Humanitarian Award, and a Canadian National Hero Award, Danielle brings over 2 decades of experience as a thought leader and resiliency expert. Diagnosed initially with muscular dystrophy and later correctly diagnosed, Danielle's personal journey fuels her advocacy for disability rights and her mission to empower individuals to discover their gold medal moments. Danielle has been a friend of mine since our early days in the pool, and I am consistently inspired by her story and her journey.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And you've now met my colleague, Matthew.
I did.
Yeah, like I said before we started, I have heard a lot about you, but we haven't actually had the chance to meet, so it's very exciting.
It's nice to meet you, and welcome to this craziness.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's dive right in. I think it's most important. What have you made fun of me before in the past?
Oh, you want me to just dive right into
it?
that?
Because most people don't know, Danielle and I have been friends for 20 years, 30 years?
Probably 32.
32 years
Yeah.
we've been friends.
I believe your nickname for me growing up was Ugly.
No,
So let's start there.
no.
I mean, if we're going to dive right in.
No.
Yep. And I think I referred to you as Flubber.
Flubber was definitely my nickname, and I think it's appropriate now.
We're going to get that on the business cards moving forward.
I also think it's good that I didn't live up to mine. Thank you.
No, you're beautiful. Beautiful.
Not at
Award-
all.
I dove in there for
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Did you like that?
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah.
I think I did make fun of your toe thumbs, though.
You also have always made fun of my toe thumbs, which you'll be happy to know every one of my children have
Do
these
they?
toe thumbs. Yeah. So they're genetic. So you're welcome.
Okay. Well, we weren't sure where this was going to go, and
But
this
there
is
it
how we
goes.
started. So here we go right off top.
Matthews are like ready to go.
No,
Like,
not at
that
all. I
is
think that
done.
this is like up our alley. This is
Yeah.
how we interact day to day.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
So, incredible story, Danielle. I know a lot of people in the community know about it, but why don't we start you've won 2 different Olympic championships,
Mhm.
Athens and
Australia.
Australia.
Yep.
And you're now like 19 years old,
Right.
having won this twice. What the heck do you do? What was the decision like to potentially leave sports, and what was next in life?
Yeah, growing up in Windsor and then being, an Olympic champion and coming home and just trying to figure out like what's next. I think what most athletes do. You keep on training with like kind of no pun intended, one toe in the pool, but still kind of testing out, what are you going to do? And just really my story after the Olympics was about sharing my medals. I really started my speaking career with bringing medals to schools, to organizations, and really talking about, hey, this was my dream and this was my goal. And you can have a dream and a goal too. And so kind of grew from there and, went to school and figured out what am I going to do for a career because you can't be in a Team Canada lifestyle where you get to nap when you want to nap. And so then became a social worker and started working in our community. And then my story just kind of continued to grow and always tying me back to the Olympic swimmer and our amazing community and getting to travel and
Yeah.
keep sharing my story. But it continued to grow until the big chapter we refer to it as.
Yeah, and we'll get into the big chapter, and it's covered in your book here. Actually, while we're at it, I might as well bring it up. Danielle, this is your book.
This is my book.
Incredible. Resurrections. My Will to Survive is Olympian. Supported by Marty Beneteau,
Absolutely.
who's a good friend of ours. Why don't you tell a little bit about Marty and your relationship and how that came to be?
Yeah, so Marty actually called me to speak at the University of Windsor to the MBA program. And then I had the opportunity to deliver that speech. And then after, he's like, oh my goodness, if you need anything, you let me know. Words you never say. Because I was like, oh, I will. And at the time, I was really ramping up my speaking career. So I was like, I need a manager. And he's like, I'm not a manager. And then I was like, everyone in Windsor would run into me on the streets and say these exact 3 things. We lit candles for you. We prayed for you. And you need to write a book. So I was like, write my book, Marty. And he's like, I don't write books. And so then we met one day at a Starbucks. We had a coffee and I was still really sick at the time. And so we had that coffee. He agreed to maybe try. And then I went back to my final bout in the hospital for a little while. And Marty started writing my book by conversations on the phone. I really wanted to give something back to our community.
Mhm.
And that was the goal of the book, is to be able to share my story and say thank you to our community.
Incredible.
So, Danielle, how long has the book been out now?
Actually, it has been out for just a little bit over 2 years now.
Amazing.
Mhm.
And our viewers can find it where?
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
And I love it. We wrote it as if it was like we were sitting having a coffee together, and we didn't share that with anybody, but everyone that reads it says, I felt like you were in my living room and we were having a coffee. That was kind of I wanted it to be light and formal, but my story, and
Mhm.
that's what we were able to capture.
That's
So
fantastic. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for letting us know that that's now out there. I haven't read it, so now I know what I'll be
perfect.
reading on the holiday break. That being said, so you just mentioned a little bit about your speaking engagements and kind of where your life trajectory kind of got taken. What has been some of those highlighted moments where you've gotten to speak in front of some audiences, whether it's locally or around the country?
Last year, I won Inspirational Speaker of the Year. So definitely taking the stage. I never thought I'd compete sharing my story. I love competing, obviously, being an Olympic swimmer, but never really thought I'd have the opportunity to do that in sharing my story. So winning Inspirational Speaker of the Year was an incredible opportunity. And I really find getting to share my story in front of youth and just different corporations where you really think you're going in for one thing and then the impact that it actually has. I always get to see that ripple effect of, someone comes back to you and says, 6 months ago, I heard you say this, and this is what I've accomplished since I heard you talk. For me, that's greater than any of the standing ovations or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's That's great.
So when you're doing, and maybe we'll get into your story, the
Mhm.
big chapter in a second here, but as you're preparing a keynote, writing a keynote, delivering it to the audience, like what are the themes that you're kind of wanting to hit on that this is a business community, what do they need to hear? How can my story translate to what they're hearing in the business world?
It's a great question. I think connection is so important in that. So I always do a discovery call with whoever has brought me in to do the talk. And I always ask the same question: what do you want your audience to feel? And that's really how I tailor my keynote. A lot of the corporations will have me come in and do something, and it starts along the lines of, we just want them to be inspired. But then really there's something there that's
Simple. So
right,
just
simple, just
inspire a
inspire
few
them.
hundred people.
Right.
Go.
And so there's
Yeah.
always something more there. Like they'll say, we want them to feel valued, or we want them to be able to show up like this at work. And so it really molds differently for each audience. What I've learned is that really everybody just wants that opportunity for somebody to say, we see you, we see how you're showing up, and we thank you for what you're doing, and how can we do more? And I think that's okay to challenge people. And so I always kind of talk about being bold and how can you show up and not having to be the best, but being your best. And what that in end translates to is you see better results. And so I love those discovery calls because they always start at one spot and totally end in a different direction.
So resilience, leadership, why don't you would you be okay sharing a little bit about your story, your big chapter,
Yeah,
to the audience
absolutely.
here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my story was always about being an Olympic athlete and, living that normal life. And my husband and I were really excited to find out we were having our third child together, which made it round out to number five. So, a little bit terrified about
You
that.
have a van?
I have a van,
Yeah.
a small bus. And so my daughter was born in August 17th of 2021. And by, a week after her birth, things were not recovering the way that they should have.
Your health.
My
Her health
health.
was
She was perfect.
okay.
Her birth was perfect, and I ended up with a severe sepsis infection, and only a 10% chance of survival. So my family came in, they read my last rites 3 times, and we just had, one hope of getting to London and getting some specialized care. And I really believe at that time they were doing it because they didn't wanna say we didn't do everything we could.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew the fighter in here, so my husband refused to say goodbye and said, "You fight like hell." I truly believe it was because he was terrified to raise 5 children.
I
Um,
completely agree. I got 2 monsters. I
right?
couldn't imagine 5.
Right? Could you imagine? And then your wife's like, "Peace out, I'm going to somewhere better." So, like, not cool. Yeah, and so I spent 12 days in a coma, and oddly enough, what I don't get to talk about enough is being in that coma, I went back to being in the swimming pool. So
Mm.
when I woke up, I was so confused because I had just been at a very long 12-day swim practice,
Yeah.
hanging out, swimming laps. In coma world, Ryan actually showed up and was like, "Train harder, swim faster." And it was like all those people that had played such an important part of my life that I remember at one point in my coma, like hanging on the lane ropes, being like, "I'm done." And the faces of people yelling, like, "No, you're not. Swim harder." Which oddly enough, every race, my mom would yell, "Swim hard."
That's incredible.
Yeah, and so slowly I gained, consciousness and strength and woke up to my worst nightmare of not a single muscle working and just kind of having to figure out, I had been a motivational speaker talking about be your best, and I was living every word that I had ever said on a stage. And so I was pushing through those moments and was so grateful to actually make a recovery. And so I made it my mission that pain had to have purpose, and I had to share this story. I had to keep on giving people to see that, through our struggles, there is so much strength. And so that's kind of where it goes.
That's incredible. And every time I hear you speak, and I've heard, a number of times, of course, every single time, standing ovations, but my arm, the hair on my arms goes up. I get the tingly feeling. And honestly, Danielle, it's an honor to know you and see your success. What folks don't realize is, you had this incredible journey where you're world class Olympian, and there's diagnosis changes that happen throughout that process. You win all these gold medals, like that story in and of itself is an incredible lifetime. And then
Right.
you've got this whole second chapter.
I do kind of like there's a secret part of me that loves standing on stage when you talk about that. And like you said, with, misdiagnosis and being re-diagnosed. And then you get to the part of the big chapter I refer, and you see everybody like, ugh. And it doesn't even end there. Like I made an incredible recovery and I did that. And then I get to share about my own children getting diagnosed with their own disabilities. And I really want to be like, it's okay, guys. There is a happy ending. Because it does just keep going. But I think it's a true statement too. You get to find those strengths. And in so many struggles, there are those, we refer to them in our family as those messy miracles. And, it's about being resilient and pushing through. And on those hard days, you move forward through it, right? Whether it's in life or business or whatever it may be.
Incredible.
I mean, talk about the branding around that, like, because the messaging is like, it's pretty clear that like resilience is key in terms of where you've come from. How have you been able to spread that message other than just speaking opportunities? Are you somebody who likes to share that online, or are you focused on other adventures?
So yeah, I mean it's taken its own life online. I always like to give credit to my husband for that, who was like the most private guy before I got sick, and then did incredible blogging while I was sick. I tease him; he turned into like Nicholas Sparks and was writing these like amazing posts, and like
Wasn't that like the love
yeah,
director?
like it was right. He
Yeah.
writes like love novel.
Not my movie.
Yeah, no, like me either. So I was like, what? And not his either. So I'd like read these amazing posts, and the community. I mean, Windsor and Essex County came together, so much that it was like I can carry this on. And what was happening was people were identifying with the story, and they
Mhm.
would share. And so we really have opened up our life. And for me, that's been okay, right? It's been okay to. I always ask my kids permission, and they're always funny because they're getting older. So they'll be like, do I get video game dollars for this? I'm like, yes.
Robux.
Right?
Everybody gets Robux.
Everybody gets
Yeah.
Robux. Everybody, what they'll do for Robux, make their bed and let me share a
Fair
post, right?
enough, yeah.
But in all honesty, yeah. And so my brand really just kind of grew in being who I am, and it has to be authentic to me. And also really about people always ask me, why do you not just say like, why me?
Mhm.
And I always say, because I've always been challenged to say, try me. I mean, I swam with this guy, right? Like our size difference was clearly a thing in swimming. And it was always like, no, I'm going to swim in your lane. You're the best in this pool. I'm going to be in the best. Just try me. Watch what I can do.
Yeah.
And so that kind of has continued to be my brand of I can't say why me. I can't spend time in those moments. I give myself permission to have those moments of like, oh, this sucks. But then it's like, okay, try me. How am I going to do this better?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's incredible. It's definitely, it takes a certain type of person to want to move forward in that light, because being on social, we kind of talked about it in past episodes, where I am very authentic online, and it can be challenging. So
Mhm.
do you have those days where you're like, oh man, I don't want to do this, but you know that you need to because of the people that are watching or listening to you?
I always find, like we talked about, that connection is so important. And when you share your authentic moments, it never, ever fails that I get someone that says, I just so needed someone else to see me today. I
Mm.
so needed this message, whether it's just, from a parenting perspective where I'm like, whew, this is a challenge today, or it's navigating my own stuff and being able to be open like that. You always get someone, you get the laughs for the fun stuff and the silly stuff. But I think the heart work, I like to call it, comes back when you are authentic and you can say, hey, I'm being vulnerable here. This is a tough moment,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, it's really incredible to see where it goes.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're going to break right now. We're going to throw it over to our sponsor, but when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what the next chapter for Danielle Campo-McLeod is.
Okay.
Sounds great?
Sounds great.
Okay, message from our sponsor.
We all know the importance of video in today's world, but the challenge is for many people, they think it's hard. You have gear, you've got software that you have to learn, you've got to figure out the lighting. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Here at All In Content, our goal is to make videos easy for businesses throughout the Windsor-Essex region. In our studio, you can choose between one of 4 sets to ultimately help set your business up for success. Come in and spend 2, 3, 4 hours and batch record enough content to set yourself up for months. It could be videos for social media, it could be training videos, it could be podcasts. Whatever type of video content you're looking to do, you can do it here. Don't buy the gear, don't figure out the software, don't worry about the lights. We've got you covered at All In Content. And as an affinity partner with the Windsor-Essex Regional Chamber of Commerce, that means chamber members get exclusive discounts, access, and prioritization here at the studio. Visit our website, allincontent.ca, to learn about everything we do. Or if you're ready to book your studio session, visit studio.allincontent.ca.
Welcome back to B2B. I'm here with Danielle, and Ryan and I are excited for this segment, which is always an opportunity to taste something of the region. And so today we do have an amazing product from a local producer, Cedar Valley. So Cedar Valley is a company that has won actually a Business Excellence Award back in 2023 for a company with 25 employees or less. Amin in Syria, I hope I'll leave these sounds you can hear on the podcast. Amin in Syria.
What is it, ASMR? Is that
That's
safe? Is that appropriate? I don't know if it's appropriate.
That's
or not.
right, yes.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't put people to sleep. So Cedar Valley is an amazing product. So I'm excited to taste this with you, Danielle. I think we have the garlic and herb. My favorite is the regular. I like the original, but this one is
My favorite's the
good one.
cinnamon.
Oh, the
They have
cinnamon's
a
a good one too.
delicious cinnamon one.
And Ryan, do you have a favorite?
This one that's in front of me right now
Which is
because
what?
I am hungry. Here we go. Are we doing like a chip? Like
Do we
Yes.
crunch it on
So
it?
we can. Oh, we can smell it.
I'm
Yeah.
so
That's okay. We can do a little.
thoughts? Mouthful
So
thoughts.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, I like these
Mm.
the best. I add them on salads all the time because they're not greasy or anything like that. It's like the perfect thing on like a fattoush salad or something.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I've not had this flavor. These ones are very good.
You can take the bag home after.
I'm going to.
Courtesy of the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you guys.
You bet. All right. So check that out. Cedar Valley, incredible product, incredible local Windsor product. And we can't wait to see their continued growth. Definitely a success story for the region. Okay. Now we're getting into the segment. Yeah, grab some water. Now we're getting into a little segment. People not sure what the Chamber of Commerce does at times. So we have this kind of ongoing joke about being the Chamber of Secrets. So this segment is Danielle Campo in the Chamber of Secrets, where we're going to ask you a little bit about what makes you tick. What's your secret sauce? What's the one thing that you do or think about that you don't think anybody else does that has led to success either in sports or your second chapter fight or your speaking engagement? So what's your secret sauce?
Ooh, what's my secret sauce? I honestly think for me, it's about connection. I think that we get so busy with our tasks and our check boxes of what we have to do. And if we stop and take a second to build those relationships, it just success feels so much better. You're able to achieve more. And then when you do hit those struggles, you have that circle of people around you. So I always like to say to people, you have to connect before you collect. And that is definitely something I think about each and every day.
How do you connect with difficult people or
Ooh.
difficult situations?
I think you have to find the good in everything. So I think whether it means it challenges you to show up differently, whether it challenges you to, show up more patiently or figure out, how are you still going to do what you need to do, but not make it a transaction. I get to deal with a lot of difficult people all the time. And I think it's just
Your
about
kids or
kids,
people in the world. Yeah.
my children. Try putting on socks with someone. And but even it's funny you bring up kids. I think this even works for parents. Like if you take that minute to even just put your hand on their shoulder and you connect before saying, get your backpack, right? And in those business moments, I think it's that connection is so important. So connect before you collect.
That's incredible. I love that line. And I have a chip.
I
in my
was going to
throat.
say that's the Cedar
I
Valley.
know they are delicious.
Yeah, I think that's a great translatable skill or knowledge for anybody in our region, right? Like Chamber of Commerce, we talk about it all the time, how the relationships you build here, these are the first people you should be looking for your transactions, but you have to build a relationship before the transaction happens. So that's brilliant. We're going to steal that.
You're not. You're just going to
Okay,
bring me in.
we're not gonna steal
do
that.
it.
That's right.
I don't
Danielle's
see any
gonna be
royalties or
on
anything like that.
standby
I think
at
it's
any-
patent now. I need a lawyer to patent that.
There you go.
So Danielle, talk to us about your speaking engagements. I mean, like you said, those opportunities to connect with your audiences is obviously important. That's kind of what helps you get your message out there. But what is on the docket for you? Are there places that people can connect with you, whether it's online or are you going to be speaking anytime soon?
Yeah, so there's lots of speaking coming up, but people can always go to my website, which is just daniellecampo.com. There's a place that says work with me and you can connect that way. I'm really excited about bringing this, connection and this resiliency into some online courses are in the make right now. Lots of different things. So I love to be able to put workshops together and get to present that to corporations and see that click, and then get to follow up and see the changes that have happened. So there's lots going on. There's another book coming out in the
Ooh.
near future. So
Okay.
that's happening soon, and we'll get working on that. So there's lots of different things going on. But yeah, I'd encourage people to head to my website and send me a message, connect, and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
So is this the next chapter?
I guess this would be the next chapter. I'm hoping it's a little less eventful or hard to come recover from. But no, I'm really excited for where it will go and how it will continue to grow.
So you're obviously a busy person.
Mhm.
Would be busy people watch the show. How do you balance all the competing priorities you have? You're a mother of 5.
Yes.
You're a public speaker.
Yes.
You have a profession
Yes.
pulled in a million different directions at all times. How do you manage that?
I think I give myself grace moments. So there are times where I will literally schedule in when can I just stop, and how can I just have a minute to say okay, so nothing is coming in this 15 minutes or this half an hour or hour. I also think that I always remember why. What is your why? I think is so important, and being present. So if I am with my kids, I am with my kids. If I am on stage, I am on stage and I am sharing my message. And I think that that's hard for a lot of people. We have our phones, we have everything, we're feeling pulled in a million directions. So, my biggest thing is I always tell myself I need to connect with myself. So, also, where I am is where I am. So, I'm here right now doing this podcast. There are a million other things going on outside right now, but it's where I am right now that matters.
And we do appreciate your time and your
Oh, I'm
focus
so
on
happy to
us.
be here.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about like the transition? I mean, not the transition, the diagnosis and what that's meant for your life, your career, and potentially for your kids' life?
Yeah, for sure. So at the age of 2, I was diagnosed with a form of muscular dystrophy. Later on, many, many years later, thank you, I through amazing work of research and amazing fundraising events that Muscular Dystrophy Canada does, I have to give them a plug because I also am their national ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
They had done incredible work and research and actually found out that I had been misdiagnosed, and I was given a different name because there are over 600 neuromuscular disorders now. So I was diagnosed with a different neuromuscular disorder. I then had my baby and all of that, and they were able to do some more testing. So before my husband and I decided to have children, we had gone through genetic testing. We were told there was a 0% chance that our kids could have a neuromuscular disorder. I was then diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy type 4, which actually has a 50% chance of being passed on. So 2 of my 3 biological children do have it. So that's been a journey in itself. But I am the national ambassador for Muscular Dystrophy Canada and get to see the amazing work. So what inspires me about that is that when my kids were diagnosed, it wasn't if there will be a treatment, it was just when there will be a treatment. And we're now in that when stage.
That's
When is
amazing.
now, and it's pretty cool to see how this research is going to keep growing and how different their life will be from mine.
How would somebody support that? Is there like a website that, or for research dollars, or
Yeah,
what's going into that?
absolutely. It's a non-for-profit.
Yeah.
It's not funded at all by the government. So you can go to muscle.ca. We have in our area in Windsor, we always have a local walk. So people can come out at any time. This year it's May 30th, and we're always at Malden Park. And so we
Amazing.
encourage people to come out and join because that $1 is going to find that cure for my kids.
And having grown up with the disease,
Hmm.
disease is the correct
Yep,
term, John?
that's fair.
Growing up with the disease and seeing success, and here we are, we're 40.
Yeah.
Speak
How
for
are you going
yourself.
to?
Speak for-
2 of us are 40.
Yeah.
One of us are not quite 40, far from 40.
That's right. Thank
How are
you.
you gonna coach your children growing up with this disease? Like, what are you gonna inspire them to do, or do you think you've already done that?
Yeah, no, what a great question. At first, I was really like any parent, I was, heartbroken that they would have this. And I thought about my difficult moments with this. And then I started to realize how much of a gift it was that, I know when they're crying because their legs hurt, mine hurt the same way.
Mhm.
And so I know how to fix that and help them with that. So it's actually a blessing. And if I had to go through all of those difficult moments to simply be able to show up the way I can for them, I would do it all over again. And so for me, there's nothing they can't do. When they say they want to, none of them really like swimming. That's heartbreaking. But when they say they want to play soccer, they can play soccer. Morgan, who's 4 now, she has the biggest hope of being a swimmer. No pressure, but
Okay.
she's in the water twice a week. I'm just saying. But they get to do whatever they want to do, and their world isn't about limits. My world was always about breaking through because people would say you can't do that, and I'd have to show them. For them, it's almost like I'm like, "Whoa, slow down, right?
Yeah.
You're only 4 or you're only 6." So it's really exciting to see, we live in a different world. It's a lot more accessible. We have a lot more ways to go with that, but I think they get to do whatever they wanna do, and it's
Mhm.
not in spite of people used to always say, "She's an Olympic gold medalist even though she has muscular
Yeah.
dystrophy." And for them, it will just be they are whatever they finish that sentence with.
That's incredible.
And that's a beautiful statement. Just before we kind of find an opportunity to wrap up this amazing conversation, because something that we like to ask all of our guests is looking into the future for Windsor-Essex. Obviously, your family is important to you. It has to be with everything that you are going to be, having to go through with them as they move forward. But what do you see as well for Windsor-Essex as a whole? It could be kind of in the lens of, with the medical treatments available, or it could be the economic factors. How do you see Windsor-Essex growing over the next, let's say, 15 years to 2040? Is there bigger advancements that you can see coming down the pipeline, or the things that you're hoping that can happen? And how do you see us reaching that vision?
Yeah, from someone who gets to travel across our country, I think our biggest thing is we have to celebrate Windsor. We have, as you guys call it, the secret sauce. We have something really special about Windsor, and it's easy to focus on all the negative things and all the things that aren't going right. But I teach about connection and about resilience, and I don't think this community understands how connected we are and how resilient we really are. So for me, it's about celebrating together and holding each other up through those difficult moments. But I am so proud to be from Windsor, Ontario. I share that everywhere I go. And I think that's just it. We have to just celebrate it more and know that we will get through those difficult moments together, but that also we're going to do incredible things in this city because we've come together and we show up. Windsor shows up for the people that live in this community. And I don't think that that's a secret, right? I think we know that and we're lucky, but we just have to celebrate that more.
Yeah. Well, Danielle, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciated this opportunity to kind of connect with you a little bit more. Like you said, what was your phrase? Connect
Before you collect.
Perfect. And again, I think Ryan and I are both going to use that as we move forward. And if we need to trademark it on your behalf, we will.
Deal. Yes. Yes. I'm sure there's a lawyer out there that can help me.
Well, thank you so much. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Beyond Two Bridges. I'm Matthew and Ryan. We want to say thank you so much to Danielle, where we were able to connect our bridges in the lane of sports and not-for-profit as we dive into this competition, or not a competition.
I like that.
It could be
It's
a
always
competition.
it's always a competition.
It's always a competition,
Yeah.
but as we dove into this conversation. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and
Thank
we
you.
will see you on the next episode.